Hey everyone, this is Nakshan, and welcome to the Scatter Hoard, where we try to put complicated ideas in a nutshell. If you ask a room full of people what is the opposite of death, most will likely answer life. But according to Buddhism and many other spiritual traditions, that's not true. The opposite of death is birth. Birth is an experience, enter stage left, and death is an experience, exit stage right. But life is eternal and exists before and after the performance on stage. There are myriads of myths and traditions that describe our pre and post existences in fascinating detail, but all are, at best, speculative and at worst, used to control and manipulate masses of people. It's even difficult to trust reports from those who've died and been resuscitated because it's impossible to say that their experiences were not the last fading embers of their embodied consciousness. There are only two unassailable truths about the death experience. First, it will happen, to all of us. Second, we have no clue what occurs afterward. The first truth implies that we ignore it at our peril. It will happen to us and it's really important, so it'd be best to get prepared and ready for the event. The second truth implies that this getting ready will be extremely tricky. Of course, it's possible that our individual awareness and sense of self does not continue after the death experience. If so, then the rest of this video is moot. But no one is certain of this, and it may turn out to be true and it may not. If it is true, then that's it, fini, and we don't have to be concerned about anything. But if it's not true, well then. So for the purpose of fair play, let's continue with an assumption that something does happen to us as defined entities. All right, what happens to us after the event is unknowable. Okay, then by definition, whatever happens is bound to be unexpected and therefore astonishing, blowing up any preconceived notions we have about what is about to occur. Even if a person gets exactly what they're expecting, Jesus really does float down from a cloud, takes them by the hand, and leads them to heaven. The actual experience is likely to be far different and stranger than the greeting card image that hung by their bedside. Therefore, the main questions related to preparing for the death experience are: first, have you ever experienced astonishment from something unexpected? Second, do you have a lot of these experiences? And finally, have you internalized these experiences in a way that has changed and deepened you? If you can answer yes to all these questions, then you are as prepared as you can be for the death experience. Let's discuss each one separately. First, babies and toddlers are astonished by pretty much everything because it's the first or one of the first times they've encountered whatever's in front of them. Peekaboo cracks up a baby every time because it's astonishing to see someone disappear and then magically reappear. But the effect wears off relatively quickly because, we've seen it before, and we develop cognitive filters. Terence McKenna gives a great example of how this works. Imagine a 2-year-old is lying in her crib with the window of the room open. Suddenly, a hummingbird flies through the window and hovers over the toddler's crib. She stares in wide-eyed astonishment at the luminescent thing floating above her. Then Mother comes in and stops short when she sees the hummingbird. After a moment, she whispers, "Look, sweetie, it's a bird. A bird." Before the word was added to the mix, it was a purely direct experience of something amazingly wonderful. But after the toddler attains the word, all experiences with flying creatures of this sort will be filtered through the word bird. While it adds to the ability to categorize, it takes away from direct experience, and perhaps lessens the sense of astonishment because after all, it's just a hummingbird, and that's just what they do. This is not guaranteed, of course, but it's the standard course of things. Scientists who maintain the wonderment of children are few and far between, but it is this exact state we must strive for when preparing for the death experience. Related to our second question, attaining a state of intelligence that's combined with wonder results from many, many experiences of astonishment. Putting ourselves out there, going new places, meeting new people, tasting new foods, etc. A life deeply lived this way is the best preparation for the death experience. This shows that what we're talking about here is not a morbid exercise. Rather, it's the best prescription for a long, amazing life. Finally, what do we do with these experiences? Post the photos on social media and call it a day? Or do we allow them to increase our ability to stay fully in the moment, even when what's happening around us is totally outside our ken? Not intellectualizing it away, not shutting down our senses because it overwhelms our nervous systems. Do we let these experiences improve our skill at maintaining personal volition and agency, even when confronted by the insanely novel? If yes, then we'll probably do okay if there is a next phase after the death experience. We'll see you next time.